Broadcasting live on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Here's your host, Andrew Romanella.
Okay? Like, just get the hell out of here. Nobody cares what you think if you're not a Mets fan.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome into another edition of The Rome Show, broadcasting live on YouTube, Twitter, X, Instagram, and Facebook. I'm your host, Andrew Romanella. It is a Thursday. It's October 16th, 2025, and we got a fantastic show for the people. We'll start with the Rome NFL top five. I'll give you my top five teams in the National Football League. We got away teams winning a lot of baseball games in Major League Baseball. The Blue Jays put a hurting on the Mariners last night in Seattle. We'll break down that. Thursday night football, the Steelers, they look to improve to 5-1 and stay atop the AFC, whilst the Bengals continue to just stay afloat just in general because they're dealing with another myriad of injuries, and he returns. That's right, he returns. It is Rocky Romanella, and it's hockey with Rocky. Woo! I know people are excited. They should be.
Are you thinking Tostitos Fiesta Bowl?
I'm thinking Tostitos Fiesta Bowl. Here's the deal. You can get the show on youtube.com/The Romanellas. That's youtube.com/The Romanellas. You can go to Twitter X. No. I'm just hitting Rocky Sounders now. You can go to Twitter X, The Rome Show 1, or Instagram, The Rome Show 1. That's The Rome Show, then the number 1, and Facebook, facebook.com/The Rome Show. Let's do some top five. All right. Put the music on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we enter week 7 of the National Football League tonight. So we must give you our top 5 teams heading into week 7. We took the hump day off yesterday, so we did not give you these on a Wednesday. Here's the deal. We're going 5 all the way down to number 1. Let's get it going. Number 5. The number 5 team on the Team Rome's NFL top 5 is going to be the Buffalo Bills. Here's the deal, people. I got the Steelers, I got the Packers, I got the 49ers, I got the Jags, and I got the Falcons with the best defense in the league, all right there in like a 5B scenario. But I cannot, and Rocky will be able to talk to us more as he comes to us from Western New York, I cannot not believe in the Buffalo Bills until I can't believe in the Buffalo Bills. I know that sounds stupid, but 2 weeks doesn't all of a sudden tell me that Josh Allen ain't a top 3 quarterback in the league, that Sean McDermott and the Buffalo Bills aren't one of the best teams in the AFC, and that this is going to be a team that's a Final Four contender when all the dust settles. I can't believe that yet. I'd rather believe the 5 years that I have seen from the Bills than I'm going to believe the 2 weeks that I have seen. So I'm keeping the Bills in my top 5 because I do believe this is a top 5 team in the National Football League. But there's no doubt about it. They better figure out that defense because it's like you're in the ShopRite aisle looking for some Swiss cheese. Number 4. Numero cuatro. Give it to the Kansas City Chiefs. This is a team that if I did a top 10 last week, I probably had them sitting at like 10 or maybe barely on the outskirts to 11. And this is how much this stuff fluctuates, okay? But Kansas City with a defining win last week was really impressive. And now you're looking at it and you're going, they're 3-3. They arguably have one of the best defenses in the league, and they clearly have the best quarterback in Patrick Mahomes. And if Patrick Mahomes can look as good as he is looking now, okay, without what feels like any weapons around him, lackluster, middle of the pack is the best way I could describe it. This could be a dangerous team down the stretch. I'm going to put my money more so on a team that has won 3 Super Bowls in 6 years and appeared in 5 of them. By the way, I'll take Andy Reid as the best coach in the National Football League. Look at the 32 teams. Look at their head coach. I'll take Andy Reid over every single one of them. Number 3.
Wait.
That's the Detroit Lions. Okay, they might have lost to the Chiefs last week, but they won 4 straight. This offense is really good. And in my opinion, this year's defense looks like the depths of it, the ability of it is going to last a whole lot longer than getting blown out by the Washington Commanders in the second round of the postseason. This looks like a Lions team that long-term is going to be right back where they were last year with a chance as one of the best teams in the National Football League. Now, can they get over that hump? We'll answer that question in 3 months. The Lions, they are my number 3 team in the National Football League. We continue.
Number two.
Finally.
That goes to Indiana Jones and his quest for a winning season and the Indianapolis Colts. They are starting to be who we think they might be. And I mean this honestly, myself included. All of us out there did not believe in this. All of us out there watched the Colts dominate the Dolphins week 1. We didn't believe in it. We did not believe in Daniel Jones. Heck, the Giants franchise let Danny Dimes go as if he was the worst quarterback in the National Football League. And now you look at it, and he's one of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League. I don't know if that's what it is long term, but I think all of us needed to look around and say, is this real? And sure enough, it is as real as it should feel, okay? And besides the fact that it's not all on Daniel Jones, it's not. You have the best running back in the league. Kyler Warren is turning into the best tight end in the league. You have a great offensive line, and you have a really good defense. That's what you need around Daniel Jones to be successful. Now you got a guy that you might as well have called Sam Darnold turning into a guy that feels like Tom Brady. I don't know how that makes any sense, but it just reminds you that the situation, the coach, the franchise matters just as much, if not more, than anything else when it comes to quarterback play. Let's finish.
Number 1.
Uno.
That's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, led by Baker Mayfield. Tampa Bay, led by Baker Mayfield. I saw a stat yesterday that Baker Mayfield has thrown more touchdowns the last 2 seasons than anybody on the Cleveland Browns or something like that. Like, what Baker Mayfield has done since leaving the Cleveland Browns is comical when you actually look at what goes on in Cleveland. To be completely honest with you, it's also comical to think that Sam Darnold, starter for the Seattle Seahawks, Baker Mayfield, starter for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, were both in the Carolina Panthers quarterback room. I'll take it a step further. 2 of the guys we just talked about, Sam Darnold, Indiana Jones, were both in the Minnesota Vikings quarterback room last year. It just goes to show you that the situation matters. Give me the Buccaneers. I didn't think they'd be the best team in the National Football League. They might not be, but right now, why are they? Because they are who we know they are. Baker Mayfield's going to sling the rock. He's going to make plays. He's going to make dudes around him better. They have a good offense, great pass rush. They're going to be uncomfortable on defense, and they sit atop the NFC at 5-1. So they are my number 1 team. Write us in youtube.com/the Romanellas, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter X, The Rome Show 1. Give us your top 5 in the National Football League, or tell us that our top 5 is stupid, just so you are aware. And I think this happens sometimes in the month of October. Major League Baseball is still going on, okay? And we are in the midst of the postseason. I got a crazy stat for you today that we are going to call our data drop here, all right? And so my data drop for the people today is actually, I think, pretty awesome. Here's what we got, ladies and gentlemen, okay? The Blue Jays beat the Seattle Mariners yesterday in Seattle to win their first game of the ALCS and make it a 2-1 series lead in favor of the Mariners. That is the 5th game in the LCSs, so the National League Championship Series and the American League Championship Series, where the away team has won the contest. So going into tonight's game 3 against the Dodgers and the Brewers in Los Angeles, the away team is 5-0. 5-0 in the league championship series, and the home team is 0-5. And so that begs the question, is home field advantage matter? Is it even worth it? Do you have to work all season saying to yourself, man, I really want to have home field advantage? Because so far in the championship series, home field advantage has mattered none. It doesn't matter. Home field what? And I feel like that's more of a baseball thing than another sports thing, but it is wild how in this championship series setup right now, it feels like a home team can't win a game. And the Dodgers feel like they can't lose a game. So we'll see if it comes to a head tonight in game number 5 between Milwaukee and the Dodgers. Last night, by the way, George Springer, 3 for 6, 1 homer, 1 RBI. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., 4 for 4. He continues his tear. He's hitting .464 in the postseason. 3 runs, 1 homer, 1 RBI, 3 RBIs for Alex Kirk. And a lot of runs scored for the Blue Jays. That series will return tonight in Seattle. They're the late game. The early game is the Brewers at the Dodgers. Haven't seen who the Brewers are starting. The Dodgers are starting Tyler Glass now. Mariners, Luis Castillo. How about for the Blue Jays? Here's an old name, Max Scherzer, on the bump tonight as they look to tie that series 2-2, and the Brewers look to continue to make the away team the victor in these league championship series. This is the Rome Show. You're tuning in on youtube.com/the Romanellas, Twitter X, Instagram, the Rome Show 1. We're going to take a quick commercial break, come back, and it is Hockey with Rocky. Will go around the National Hockey League as we are 5 or 6 games in for most of these teams. And then we break down Thursday night football to give you a rundown on the Steelers versus the Bengals. Thanks for tuning into the Rome Show. We appreciate you. We'll be back after this.
Ting tang, walla walla bing bang. Ooh ee ooh ah ah. Ting tang, walla walla bing bang.
It's the Rome Show!
Ting tang, walla
Yeah! Welcome back into the Rome Show here. Broadcasting live on youtube.com/the Romanellas, the Rome Show 1, Instagram, Twitter X. We got the guy, Rocky Romanella, in the house.
What's going on, everybody?
Yeah,
what an
Rock,
intro.
how we
What
feeling
an intro
today?
song.
Inside the glass. Hockey with Rocky.
What's going on, everyone? This is Pierre Maguire. No, it's not. It's Rocky Romanella. You're inside the glass, and we are fired up 5 games into the NHL season. What's up? we
Rocky,
doing?
welcome back. Man, it feels like it's been months since we've had you on the airwaves.
It's been like a 2 week hiatus. Made a stint with another Rocky Romanella, but I'm back on the real show.
Check out the Leadership Library podcast wherever you get your podcast if you want to hear a true Rocky v. Rocky conversation.
10 minutes from Giants Stadium. Yeah.
Yeah, it's brutal.
All right, Rocky. Listen, I would
Nice
actually,
tie, Cowboys.
I would like to. That's hilarious. That's so funny that they have a tie on the season. And it's even funnier that they tied Micah Parsons and the Packers. I gave a top 5 of my National Football League teams to start this show. And I have a feeling you have an opinion on that, so I'd love to start there.
I'm a big believer in the Bills this year, by the way. I was at a Monday Night Football watch party. It was like an all-day Columbus Day fiesta. We were outside. There was a lot of people there. The host of the party came up from underneath his basement with a clear plastic Rubbermaid tub of every jersey, every version of the Bills jersey. Each person put a jersey. I didn't put a jersey on, but each person put a jersey on that was the fan. They were fired up. I'm glad I got out of there after the first quarter. But listen, the talk all year, like, dude, defense. We're worried about our defense, right? But I think on Monday night, the talk of the offensive coordinator was probably a little bit more prominent than the defense.
Isn't it funny how all of these teams that we're assessing, good or bad, how much, Rocky, it comes down to the coaching staff or the play calling or the situation you're putting your best players in?
I mean, you made a great point when you look at Baker, when you look at Sam Darnold, like it really matters. Like you got to be in the right room and you've got to be able to build around that person. I think there's a ton of overcoaching and over management in every game right now, and it's very obvious in the NFL.
Would you choose a singular team you think is best right now, or do you not feel like there's a best team in the league?
Love the Baker pick.
Yeah,
I mean,
I just
all
feel
in.
like it's so good, dude.
I think the NFL this year has presented so many opportunities to cheer for your not favorite team when they're playing. Like anytime the Bucks are on, I'm like, let's go Baker. I'm all in on Indiana Jones. Like I mean, I love the guy. I feel like he's like a child, and you're cheering for him. Like I'm always in on Dan Campbell. Like I don't necessarily know
Oh, yeah.
if punching someone with a helmet on is the best move. Um,
Should rethink
but I
that.
like that. I like that. I gotta say, the other those are the teams I'm paying them. And listen, I've always wanted to cheer for the Finns. Can't do it now because it's just it's tough.
It's a mess.
The hardest part about the Bills, and I came into the year like, dude, this team is special. Like they won the game versus Baltimore. I thought the Patriots game, I really up until they didn't win, I thought that they were going to figure out a way to win. I thought that last drive was going to result in a touchdown, not a field goal. And I just felt like they had a special thing. And I actually was like, nah, the Patriots lost. That's like the football gods writing the Ravens, win, right? Like we're gonna even it out. I think the Falcons are gonna have a big game, but it'll be like 35-24 is actually what I predicted, which is crazy because the Falcons scored 24 points. I was
Yeah.
like really proud of myself. But you know what? It's an early season stumble. Like my thing with the Bills is that you sit here and you're like, the Chiefs pretty much started 0-3. They're
Mhm.
3-3 now, and everyone's like, dude, they're going back to the Super Bowl.
Right.
And now the Bills are 4-2, and you're like, the world is ending.
And with the Eagles, it's the same thing.
The world is ending. And you're like, I don't know if the world is ending. The only reason it feels like the world is ending in Western New York is because Drake May and the Patriots are good.
Yes. That's exactly
And now
why.
you've got to go win the division. The
Yes.
Colts are good. Like the Chiefs are back. The Steelers look pretty nice. Like they continue to win sloppy games,
Yep.
right? And Jacksonville looks good. So you're looking at the playoff picture, you're like, come on. Like I literally thought we should have wiped the floor with the AFC East again this year. And now I have to deal with the Patriots again.
Sounds like it's 2006 again with the Indianapolis Colts and the Pittsburgh Steelers leading the AFC.
Little bit.
and the Patriots back atop. What's going on here?
It is. It's a little bit like that. So I just think it's more frustrating when you look at the landscape than it is on like, I'm not an official fan, so I'm not going to continue to speak on it, but that's just, outside in.
Fair assessment. We are talking to Rocky Romanella. Hockey with Rocky returns
I'll tell you what,
today.
though. I'll tell you what, though. If the Sabres didn't score 8 goals last night and the Bills lose again, riots.
Well, so that's where
Riots.
I was going there next because, well, you're in quite a predicament here because you're in Western New York. And so the Bills fans are quite possibly some of the nuttiest of all time. The Buffalo Sabres haven't been good for a minute, but man, does that area want them to be good. And then you're a Rangers fan, and they've been shut out 3 times to start the season. So how do we feel about hockey right now in your mental state?
I love it. I mean, listen, I've watched all the Rangers games. I'm not worried. We've got 78 games remaining.
That's right.
I think we're gonna be okay.
Plenty of
I would
time.
love to score a goal.
That'd be great. It'd be great for the team.
Be really good for team morale. Listen, they're playing great defensively, and their goaltending looks outstanding. I mean, Igor Shesterkin has not given up more than 1 goal or 2 goals, excuse me, in his 3 starts. Jonathan Quick only gave up 1 goal in his start. So it's like, all right, like we're playing pretty good hockey. We need to figure out the line combinations to get our talent, the ability to score. Like I don't think like you're gonna have to break up Lafreniere or Panarin. You're gonna have to move people around. You're gonna have to make some decisions. You have a different level of depth. And most importantly, in these early games, when you need big minutes, your fourth line is literally playing 15 minutes a game, outplaying your third line. So there's just so many good things happening on the ice for the Rangers that I'm not too worried. Would love a goal in MSG.
I think that it is safe to say, in my lifetime, so 35 years this month, there's no team better at drafting and developing talent in between the pipes than the New York Rangers. Am I wrong? Like, I mean, have you ever
Oh no,
seen
you
this?
went from Richter to Lundqvist to Shesterkin.
I mean,
Essentially, maybe with like a gap, like a year or 2 gap in between, like Richter and Lundqvist.
right. And it's like this is some of the best goaltending you've ever witnessed. And barring going into the depths of the conversation most Rangers fans go into, which is we're wasting all this great goaltending. It's the opposite. It sounds like from you this season, though it could be annoying to be like, damn, our D's playing so good. Shesterkin's playing so good. But I think you're going to agree with this team is going to score goals. This is not a team that doesn't have goal scorers. So why not start with being elite defensively, being elite goaltending wise, and then over the next 77, 78 games, you figure out the offense, and now you're a well-rounded team for the postseason. Rocky, correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like it's been the other way with this Rangers team a lot recently. They're good. We think they're good. Then all of a sudden, wait, they're not good. It's like, no, maybe we slow play it this year, and that turns into a Stanley Cup run.
Yeah, the last couple teams have been like out of the gates, scoring goals, great power play, one of the best power plays in the league, and that you walk into the playoffs and there's not one person who thinks they're good at 5-on-5.
Right.
Right. And then it reveals itself in the Eastern Conference Finals, and you're like, oh man, they were right.
We knew who they were.
Damn. Damn. I tell you what though, so a couple teams, so I haven't had a chance to see everyone play. I will say I want to see the Red Wings play. They're off to a 3-1 start. Year 7, I believe, or year 6 of the GM tenureship of Steve Yzerman, and they've just been on the rise. So I'll be excited to catch the Red Wings. Haven't seen the Bruins play yet. Definitely want to see the Canadians because I think that there's some really great young talent there. Lane Hudson, Cole Caulfield, they are off to a nice start. Florida is riddled with injuries. Riddled. So it's going to be
Big
interesting
time.
to see how they maintain. Dude, tough one for the Sens, right? No Brady Kachuk for at least a month, probably 2. And the fate of the USA Olympic hockey team is in jeopardy as both Matthew and Brady sitting on the sidelines right now, which will be interesting to see play out. Haven't seen the Devils yet. I know there's a lot of buzz, but Jakob Markstrom out, I believe, day to day, week to week, which will hurt.
Yeah.
Don't necessarily care about the Islanders. I thought the Flyers were going to be off to a better start. No surprise, Colorado and Dallas off to a good start. Love the way Chicago played last night. Oh
Really
man, I
good.
watched
I
Chicago
watched that
St.
game.
Louis after men's league. What, dude? Wheeling. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if that was a flash in the pan one game, but talk about exciting.
I like their coach too. I listened to an interview from him as well. And you can see it though. You see it in Connor Bedard. Like I watched him like act. I don't know how to describe it. Like just watched him operate. There was a few times around the net. There was a few times interact. Like you see a confidence in him. And now when you start to play more years in the league, of course that's going to happen. But I think the system that they are playing right now with this new coaching staff is really allowing that young group of talent that they've been collecting in Chicago to finally like matriculate a little bit.
It was almost like St. Louis was like, I can't believe these guys are so fast.
Yeah. It was like remote
man,
control cars like zipping around them. It was crazy.
They were wheeling. I watched Edmonton obviously play the Rangers. They look the same. Like I don't net. They just look the same.
Yeah, and I've been seeing a lot of stuff recently about like the Stuart Skinner and like, listen, he is who we thought he was. Like, it's not like you were going to go from last year's run and the year before's run, and now all of a sudden the guy with the same uniform on is now Mike Richter. Like that just it's not going to work that way. So I just think it's funny when you're like, well, is Edmonton gonna final handle their goalie situation? I don't know. For 10 years, has Edmonton handled their goalie situation? It's like the opposite of the Rangers in that way.
No, absolutely. So off to an exciting start from an NHL standpoint. We're 4 games in, and couldn't be more excited to know that I get to watch a hockey game every night of the week.
It's very exciting. It is. And to touch on the Devils about the Markstrom stuff, and it's funny, we in a weird way, we've gotten into a lot of goaltending tonight, but the tough part about the Markstrom injury for the Devils is, and I think you're going to agree with me here, the Devils have been searching for an identity since the Martin Brodeur era ended. Okay. Scott Stevens, Ken Danico, that once that era ended, okay, they've been searching for their identity. And for the last 10 to 12 years, the Devils fan and the Devils organization has been in this fluctuation. Who are we? Are we this defensive trapping team where we rely on winning 3-1 every game and it's almost suffocating for the other team? Or are we going to try and go draft some of these guys like Zach Parise, who eventually works out but doesn't get you to a Stanley Cup but doesn't win it? Like, what type of team are we? Brian Giantas. And now I think you're kind of coming back to the identity of the Devils organization, which is we need to be really sound on the blue line. We need to be really sound between the pipes. And then we need to start developing this type of offensive talent like the Nico Hirschers, et cetera, et cetera. And you finally felt like you started to have that with Markstrom, Rocky. And then he goes and gets hurt. So I'm curious to see what this does to this team. Though not a long injury, could be a long enough injury.
Dude, and as we see, you're defined for better or for worse by your goaltender, right? Like Sergei Bobrovsky defining the Florida Panthers run. Andrei Vasilevsky defining the Tampa Bay run. Stuart Skinner, for worse, defining right, like the battle between Jeremy Swayman and he's in Calgary now, but the lack of a number one, right? And then you have the stories of the rookies defining your team. Jordan Binnington defining the St. Louis Blues when they win their cup. Aiden Hill defining the Stanley Cup run for the Vegas Golden Knights. I mean, the position is as, if not more important than the quarterback is in football.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. I think you put the goaltender in hockey and the catcher in baseball equally, if not a little bit higher, I think, than the quarterback position sometimes.
Speaking of catchers, Cal Raleigh, and I mean, if they weren't playing the Jays, I gotta like the Jays. I went to a Jays game this year, like, go Jays. I would say like I'm like in on the Mariners a little bit, dude.
Same.
Their pitching staff is nice.
Yeah, despite last night, I agree. Did you see that Cal Raleigh was not a finalist for a Gold Glove?
Did you see the throw he had to second base to get that guy out on the steal the other night? That was sick. I was watching it live too. I was like, it was awesome.
I saw,
and he was in the home run derby. We got a catcher that can hit home runs.
Yes,
I feel like it's the late 90s, early 2000s.
How about this statistic, Rocky? Cal Raleigh was not named a finalist for Gold Glove in 2025. However, he is number one in Major League Baseball in defensive runs saved, pass balls, wins above replacement, innings caught. Like that alone should get you a Gold Glove. Pitches caught, and his staff ERA, and he's not a finalist for the Gold Glove. What are we doing, man?
Yeah, doesn't necessarily make sense to me.
Sounds like baseball.
From my standpoint. But you know what? I don't understand how I can point to a defense and not get a false start. So you know what? There's just a
Yeah.
lot about sports I don't know.
We could go on and on. That's a good point. Rocky Romanella here. Hockey with Rocky has returned on the Rome Show, but as you could tell, it doesn't mean that the roundup still doesn't show up.
No, yeehaw.
It's yeehaw, but we are just very dedicated to the.
We got 77 games left, people, and we're in the thick of the NFL. We'll be okay.
We'll be okay. Rocky, do you want to stay with us for the Thursday Night Football breakdown real quick?
I'm gonna run, but do you want my Giants take before?
Oh, yes. Oh, okay. So if he's not going to be with us for Thursday Night Football, we get his Giants take. Rocky, the floor.
My brand new G-Man hat is on right
fire.
now. I don't know how you're not absolutely in love, and everyone is, right, with Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterboo. But it is beyond those two guys that you need to be paying attention because the defense is buzzing.
Yeah.
All right. Abdul Carter looks good. Sexy Dexty Lawrence looks good, right? Cordell Flott looks good, right? Olsen Adebo looks good. But you know who looks even better?
Spidey.
Brian Burns leading the team
Great
with
signing.
7 sacks.
Yeah.
And it's looking like all of the individual talent is finally coming together for the Giants. I'm under the impression there was a players only meeting on the defensive side of the ball to look at Shane Bowen in the eye and said, let us cook. Because you are holding us back, and you've seen a difference in their defense over the last 2 games. And that might be more important to the Giants offense than anything else this year, because you got to let your rookies make mistakes.
That's a fact. And we came into the year saying the best part of this team should be their defense. And if that matriculates and then you feel that good about this offense, you're looking at week 17 this year as a Giants fan, regardless of postseason, stupid excited for the next 10 to 15 years.
And if you're going to be a fan, you've got to be hopeful. I'm looking at the NFC East right now.
Yep.
And if I leave this week 3-4, everyone only has 1 win in the division right now.
Yeah. And it's not like the Eagles look like world beaters or the Commanders look like the best team in the National Football League either. And Dallas's defense could be one of the worst in the National Football League. So,
Dallas
there's
with
hope.
a tie. Dallas with a tie and then a loss to Carolina is just thrilling to me.
There's
thrilling.
hope in East Rutherford, New Jersey again, Rocky. How exciting is that? Wow.
It's very good.
Rocky Romanella, everyone, last words before you leave, bro.
NASCAR, William Byron got burned in Vegas last week. Big race at Talladega this Sunday. Pay attention.
All right. That's Rocky Romanella. He is our resident hockey expert. He's back for Hockey with Rocky. And he'll be here weekly to break it down for the people. Rocky, thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'll pop the music on. Let's finish this thing off with a little Thursday Night Football breakdown. It is the Steelers versus the Cincinnati Bengals. Normally, we would say that this was a really good contest. Today, we're probably not going to. Steelers coming at 4-1, Bengals at 2-4 with Joe Flacco at the helm of their offense. You know, speaking of Joe Flacco and Rocky Romanella, I actually watched the Delaware Blue Hens play some FBS football last night. Tough loss, though, against Jacksonville State. However, just a quick shout out to the Blue Hens, 3-3 in their first year in real Division I football. So that's very exciting for Flacco, Rocky Romanella, and the Blue Hen gang. But that's not what we're here to talk about. It's the Steelers at 4-1, led by Aaron Rodgers. Hey, Jets fans, you think Aaron Rodgers is still the problem, or do you think your organization is still the problem? We're not going to get fully deep into that, but Aaron Rodgers has thrown for 1,027 yards this season, 10 TDs, and 3 INTs. And this is the best the Pittsburgh Steelers have looked since Ben Roethlisberger left leading this offense. However, it is a little bit of an illusion. They're 14th in the league in points per game. They're 29th in the league in total yards per game. They're 25th in rushing yards or passing yards per game and 29th in rushing yards per game. They are middle of the pack in every defensive category. So this is the team that, just like Rocky said, they're going to find a way to win. Right now, that's exactly what the Pittsburgh Steelers are doing. They're finding a way to win, but they have enough talent to do that. They're favored by 5.5 tonight against a bad Bengals team. Give me the Steelers by the -5.5. Take whatever prop you want here. But I don't think this is going to be an onslaught. I think this is going to be a pretty boring football game, maybe like 27-17, 24-20, something like that. Nothing spectacular. And the Steelers move to 5-1. Ladies and gentlemen, Rocky wrote in before he left, tough showing on national TV by the Blue Hens. I was just excited to see them on national TV. I think, in my final thought here on the show, if you're Delaware football, okay, and you are now in FBS Division I football, you should change your helmets. Don't make them look like University of Michigan. Get like the cool blue hen on the side of the helmet. That would be fire. You know what else is fire? Tuning into the Rome Show daily, every day at 7:05 a.m. We'll be back tomorrow morning. I'm Andrew Romanella. You have better English. You have an electric Thursday. Thank you to Rocky Romanella. Thank you to everyone tune in. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.
Thank you for listening.